Hello and welcome to the Stormgate Kickstarter. I'm Tim Campbell. I'm the game director and president here at Frost Giant Studios. And we are here assembling some of the world's greatest RTS developers who've worked on some of the biggest franchises in the genre to come together to build the next evolution for the real-time strategy genre. Welcome to Stormgate. Our vision is to make the most fun RTS of all time. And to us, that means a lot of different things. First, it starts with core gameplay. We're opening up the RTS experience to new players through new modes, new ways of playing. Whether you like story, or you enjoy cooperative experiences, or you want to get right into ladder and play hardcore competitive, we have content for you in Stormgate. To build this vision, we had to start first with the technology and tools to bring it to life.
I'm James Anhalt, the chief architect here at Frost Giant, and I'm here to show you the custom tech we built for Stormgate. It transforms Unreal Engine 5 into the most state-of-the-art real-time strategy game engine. Get ready for Snowplay. Snowplay plus Unreal Engine 5 makes Stormgate a truly next-gen real-time strategy game, and we can't wait for you to get your hands on it and play.
At Early Access, we will have 3 distinct asymmetric factions, each with their own unique gameplay, their own unique identity, and core mechanics that are unique to them. We began developing Stormgate by focusing on our 1v1 mode initially, and this allowed us to make sure that the game was responsive, units felt good, and the game blew us away. The response to our earliest pre-alpha test was that it was already incredibly fun. And so we've carried that with us forward into other modes.
Discovery, this is Command.
We're kicking off Early Access with the first few chapters of an epic, sweeping campaign that will allow you to experience the story of Stormgate either solo or cooperatively with your friends. As an extension to our universe, we're building an expanding roster of hero characters that you can use in the single-player campaign or co-op as you're exploring the story, but that you can also lead into battle in the 3 versus AI cooperative mode or in the 3v3 team mode that we're building after Early Access. We're then taking the technology and the tools that we've used to build all of these modes, and we're bundling them up to release to you so that you can really unleash your creativity and introduce the world to your own stories, your own characters, and your own mods. Storytelling is near and dear to my heart. It's why I got into the games industry and began developing this type of game in the first place. I was the lead campaign designer on Warcraft III and the Frozen Throne, where I contributed to some of the epic chapters in Warcraft's history. Together with the designers here at Frost Giant, we're working with Mickey Nielsen, a multiple award-winning, best-selling author who helped contribute to Warcraft and StarCraft, working over 23 years at Blizzard on those franchises. Additionally, early on, we partnered with Chris Metzen himself, the war chief and one of the key creatives who came up with the vision for Warcraft and StarCraft originally. Together, we've created a framework for storytelling that's going to enable us to tell an ongoing narrative for years to come. So let me tell you a little bit about the universe of Stormgate. We're bringing together some of the best elements of both fantasy and sci-fi into a new post-apocalyptic setting. We're set in the near future inside the midst of this apocalypse, where an alien race of infernal, demonic invaders has swept into the world and destroyed civilization as we know it, subjugating all of humanity. And in the middle of this, we mix together post-apocalyptic settings with survivors and ragtag militias and marauders and all these desperate circumstances, along with hard sci-fi elements like battle mechs and spaceships and cybernetics. And then we introduce through the others these fantasy elements with dark magic and sorcery and rituals. At the end of the day, what we really want to do is be able to have a mech punch a dragon.
I had the pleasure of working on the StarCraft II version of co-op, and it was a mode that I love dearly. We see Stormgate's highly replayable 3-player co-op mode as an evolution of that mode, in which there are even more replayable missions. There are more opportunities to cooperate. In addition, enemies will be more varied. There will be more dynamic occurrences in every given map. One of our primary design goals with Stormgate co-op is that it'll be a new experience every time you play. A large part of what makes Stormgate co-op very exciting is the heroes that we have planned for you all. The Stormgate hero is not only just a unit on the battlefield, it's also a brand new array of global abilities you can use anywhere on the map, and new units that are very specific to the hero itself. Let's take our first co-op hero, Blockade from the Vanguard faction. Blockade is known for being a resilient fighter supporting his teammates with heals and buffs. But Blockade's not just about defense. As one of the most grizzled fighters in the Vanguard army, he'll be able to jump into the battlefield and swing his hammer around to strike fear into enemies. And in a pinch, he'll be able to help his allies from across the map with his ability to teleport not only himself, but his units across the battlefield. Co-op in Stormgate is really a mode for everyone, and we can't wait for you to try.
For more than 20 years, real-time strategy games have been a leader in the world of competitive gaming. With Stormgate, we want it to be easier than ever to compete. Our goal is to reduce the points of friction to enter events and play with your friends, find out who the best player in your school, in your town, in your city is. If you follow a content creator, if you're part of an online community, we want you to be able to play with your friends and other people in that same group. We want you to be able to spin up a tournament and just be competing immediately and removing any obstacles that prevent you from doing that. At Frost Giant, we see competition as more than just esports. It's about community. It's about empowering and facilitating the community to do what they love and to let them do what they want to do without dictating it to them from the top.
Just so much damage over time on the high ground here. Gaunt's trying to snowball, but they're just going to take a massive shot.
We've already gotten the game into the hands of some of the most skilled players in the world, and the results have been phenomenal. It's been fun to watch, it's been super interesting to play, and it's been incredibly exciting to see.
The RTS genre has a long and glorious history with editors being released to the community. We've seen entire new genres spring out of the Warcraft editor, for example, with tower defense and MOBAs. That started out as RTS mods and maps, and then grew into entire new genres that have dominated the gaming industry. We aim to continue that tradition. Our team worked directly on the editors for Warcraft and for StarCraft. We built content with them, and we actually helped build the tools themselves. We're rolling all of that knowledge and experience into the tools for Stormgate to release to you. One of the powerful new innovations we've done is that the editor and the tools are not a separate client. They're built directly into the game itself. So with the press of a button, you can switch between gameplay and editing mode in order to make it fast and a tight loop to be able to create and test your own content. These tools will be usable to build mods. They'll be used to make maps and tell your own stories and build your own campaigns. Our 4 Cs, the campaign, the co-op, the custom games, and of course, the competitive gameplay, are at the heart and soul of what we're building here.
So why are we doing a Kickstarter? We felt that this was the best way to give the community what they were asking for. We've received a lot of requests for physical merchandise. Also, we've received an overwhelming number of requests for how players can get into the beta. Online multiplayer testing is really expensive, and we haven't made any money to date yet. Through Kickstarter, we can expand the beta pool and allow more players to get into the game while supporting Stormgate. One of the great things about Kickstarter is it allows us to deliver a Stormgate Physical Collector's Edition.
Vulcan online.
The Vulcan mech is one of the defining units of the Vanguard army, and we decided to make the Vulcan mech the centerpiece of our Collector's Edition. Here you see a fully painted prototype of our 6.5-inch Vulcan statue.
We're really excited to build Stormgate with you and for you, and to have you be a part of this journey and help shape the game that we're creating. This is the beginning of the next 10 years for the RTS genre, and I want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts at Frost Giant for being a part of this process and helping to bring this game to life.